Hi, and welcome to my 3-point lighting in video lecture. My name is Ramona Ford, and this is the recorded presentation for digital television. The most important element when shooting a video is light. Without light, you would just have a black screen. That being said, proper placement is vital to capturing an image in a scene in the desired manner. Sometimes a videographer may want to use different lighting techniques to achieve different effects, such as fire, shadows, television lighting a room, horror, scary effect. Whatever the desired effect is, light is what makes that happen. One of the most common lighting techniques is called 3-point lighting. Okay, but before we get to that, we're going to cover some key terms that you need to know for lighting: subject, light, shadow, and background. Video is flat. It's two-dimensional on the screen. So therefore, you need to use lighting in a way to light your subject so it appears three-dimensional to the viewer. It's more appealing this way. The subject on the screen can be people in a car, it can be a trophy sitting on a table, or you could be trying to light the fizz from a soda or the steam from a cup of coffee. You just have to figure out what exactly you're trying to light. There's all different sorts of light source. Light is what illuminates the subject. It can be a natural light source such as the sun, or it can be an artificial light source, one that you set up intentionally, or one that could already be there like a street lamp or automobile headlights. Where there's not light, there's shadow. The darker area that's created on the subject is caused by the light placement. And these pictures here have shadows behind where the light is not shining. You also have to be aware of your background. The scene behind your image is very important. It can be anything from a window to a building to a field of flowers. And you can see in these examples here, there's actually a wall of fog in the background on one, and several bottles at the bar, and then a manufactured set for the television show. Okay, now on to 3-point lighting. Now that you've got some ideas of the elements that make up what you're actually capturing on the video, we're going to move to the 3-point lighting technique. First, you have your key light. To achieve a properly lit subject, you need 3 light sources. The first one is the key light. That is your brightest light. Okay, you should position the key light to one side of the subject, same side that the camera's on usually, so that the side is well lit and it creates some shadows on the opposite side. And as you can see, there is a little picture at the bottom of the camera and the key light shining on the object in the middle. Okay, the second light is your fill light. It's called fill because it fills the shadows created by your key light. You should place the fill light on the opposite side of your subject, the opposite side that the key light is on. Your fill light should not be as bright as your key light. If it's the same intensity, then they would cancel each other out and you'd lose the three-dimensional effect. This is the same picture of oranges, but with just the fill light turned on. And then you can see a picture of the camera with the key light and the fill light added. The third part of the 3-point lighting technique is your backlight. It's also called edge, rim, shoulder, or hair light. The point of this is to light the subject from one side from behind. The purpose of the backlight is to illuminate the edge of the subject so that the subject is separated from the background. The light does not need to be as bright as the key light or the fill light. And as you can see here, we have the oranges with just the backlight on, and we have an image of a head with a backlight that hits the top of the head and the shoulders. It's very important to get those shoulders in there. It just gives it really good depth. And then you have the illustration of a camera with a key light, a fill light, and then the backlight added. So there you have 3-point lighting. And here is the picture of the oranges with all 3 lights turned on: the key light, the fill light, and the backlight. There's also a picture of a famous actor, and you can see that he has bright lights on both sides of his face, but they're not counteracting each other. And then he actually has some light on his hair and on his shoulders. And the third picture is of an actress with the sun acting as her backlight, and she has some fill light on the front of her skirt and on her arm. So now that you understand 3-point lighting, we're going to do a quick review. Remember, your subject needs to be well lit. And the purpose of three-point lighting is to make that subject appear three-dimensional as if it is in real life on the screen. You have your key light, which is your main light. You put on the front to the side, usually the side the camera's on. On the opposite side, you put your field light. Your field light is not as bright as your key light, and it's only there to fill in the shadows that the key light created. And then you need your backlight, and it's put in the back to create separation from the background and the subject. Often lighting takes the most time to set up on a set, but a well-lit subject is worth the time and effort. Thanks for learning with me today.